So here we have an amazing personality with us who happens to be a musician, an artist, a painter, a poet, also a two-time cancer survivor, Pratichee Mohapatra. And we also have her very close friend as well as her an industry guitar player, Ashish. Great to have you too. So would you want to enlighten us a little bit of that on your journey through being a cancer spokesperson as well as through surviving cancer 2 times?
This cancer spokesperson part of it is a very new part to me right now. In terms of my journey, I can just in a nutshell tell you, in 2011 I was first diagnosed with a liposarcoma. It's a very rare kind of a tumor. It weighed 5.8 kilos. It was like me having twins. Luckily, there are no twins. But yeah, so when I was diagnosed with the tumor, I had no symptoms. I was absolutely healthy, fine. The only symptom, let's say, or the only complaint that I had was that every night when I would sleep, it used to basically sit on my spine, the weight of whatever. And I used to get restless in my sleep, and I didn't know why, because every day in the night I would not sleep. I would just keep tossing and turning, tossing and turning. So I thought it was some kind of a back issue. So I went to an orthopedic surgeon saying I have this back problem, it keeps hurting, I can't sleep in the night. And because in the day I was absolutely fine, when I was walking upright, I was absolutely fine. And then time passed and I was doing like a 5-city tour with for L'Oreal, and I was singing, where the models were walking. So it was all very like, glamorous. And I was working out really hard trying to lose weight and saying, I will just not be a musician, I will be a good looking musician. Sorry, I don't mean it in any bad way. The main idea being that I was like, I will not be just seen as a singer only, I'll be even better than the models. Okay, so that was my agenda. So I was working out really hard. And when I had my fittings for my clothes, they took my fittings and I was literally 5 minutes from going on stage when the show was going to start. And when I got into my clothes didn't fit me. And I had a spat with my designer saying, your tailors haven't bothered to fix the clothes. And he says, no, Pratichee, you have put on weight. And I got offended at that point of time. I was like, I said, how dare you tell me that? I have been working out even harder than usual and you're telling me I've put on weight. So anyway, as things unfolded, got to know there was a tumor. So actually the tumor was growing so steadily that it was getting bigger and bigger. And that's why the weight gained. It was not that I had put on weight.
It's just the tumor.
The tumor was growing and it was expanding in my abdominal cavity. So anyway, 8 years passed from there. I did not miss a single checkup, and in 2018 actually, I had a feeling that I felt something in my left breast, and but I was unsure. So I used to keep having my regular checkups because I already have history with the earlier tumor. And when I went to meet my doctor, my oncologist, I told him, doctor, I've never had a mammogram done. Should I get it done because I feel something? Now this is actually the part that I really want to share with everyone, because as a patient, I shared my fear with the doctor. And instead of he taking me and examining me, he tells me, oh, you're too young, you're premenopausal, you don't need to get a mammogram done. I was happy. I was like, oh, my doctor is telling me not to get it done. I'm relieved. So 2 months passed, 3 months passed after that of 2019. But you know how there's something like a voice in the back of your head? So I said, no, there's something amiss. I need to again get a checkup done. So I went to my gynae and I asked her, please check me. So she felt my breast and she told me, yes, I do feel something, but don't worry, it could be a fibroid, quite a common occurrence, but get a mammogram done. And she asked me to get it done. And when I got my mammogram done, is when I got to know there was a small tumor. And doctors can see it from the shape, from the when they're doing the test itself, like whether it's a fibroid or not, even though the biopsy still had to be done. So it was obviously malignant, but luckily I caught it in stage 1. I went back to my oncologist saying that you told me not to bother getting it checked, and here it is. It is stage 1 already. So he thought for a moment and he tells me, okay, since you have history from 2011, I suggest you get a PET scan done. And that's probably it's a good thing. But what happened when I got the PET scan done, I got to know the details of my breast cancer, and when I'm reading the reports, I'm like, I'm a science student, okay, so I understand enough. I understand enough, when it comes to all this medical jargon. So I'm reading the report, I'm like, am I actually getting that right? And I kept reading it, and I'm like, so my husband, and he's like a biochemist, and he's done his MSc and all of that. So we both have read it, and we both aren't addressing it. So then finally I said, are you reading and understanding the report the way I am? He says, yeah, let's talk about it, but he was not at home. And then finally, basically, in a nutshell, what happened is, while I was actually trying to figure out my breast cancer tumor, I got to know that the old cancer was also back.
Oh.
And it was not small in size. It was back to being almost like 12 inches in size again. So I had to go through the same surgery. It's pretty cool, huh? I have like a 12-inch scar in my stomach. Yeah, it's kind of cool. My dad has these funny jokes with me where he says, okay, you get a tattoo done, which looks like a zipper. So when you guys see my art, I will show you my art, what I have done with that piece of information.
That's actually pretty cool to, change and make that an art or something.
Yeah. So I got diagnosed for second and third time basically with the old tumor that came back and with breast cancer. But I went, so the doctors told me, so you want to go through this surgery twice where we address the breast cancer first and then the old liposarcoma. I said, I'm sorry, you will get a chance to put me under anesthesia only once. And then under that anesthesia, you get rid of both of them. So I ain't doing it twice more. Yes.
And it's very painful.
So of course my parameters were all under control. I was healthy enough to take both the surgeries together. And 2019, I had to go through the same liposarcoma surgery and the breast cancer surgery. I went through radiation for the breast cancer. And I'm on hormonal therapy right now. So my checkups continue. I'm very diligent, very, very particular. Not just because it happened for a second time, from day 1. I have not missed a single checkup ever.
That's a very healthy habit.
Yes.
A lot of people should do that. So you said you realized your liposarcoma pretty late. But what are the things people could possibly do to realize it, in the initial stages?
I can't emphasize this enough to everyone, especially all the women out there, that self-tests are extremely important. You need to get self-tests done. Only then if you can catch it early, that's the best thing about breast cancer, if there's a best thing, that if you catch it early, it's very treatable. It's very treatable today. It's only if you're unlucky or you have been lax with your checkups and all, and if you catch it in a late stage is when things get tough.
Right. Even magic of science can save you.
Yeah, absolutely.
The pandemic lasted for like 2 years, so did that affect you?
Of course it did. Because shows dried up, people were doing online shows and also many things happened. Like I used to keep putting out stuff along with the cooking and jhadu pocha which everybody was doing. I was like, no, I'll keep putting out, small videos on social media to remind people, bhai, main abhi bhi gana gaati hu. So I would keep, so I started this very cool thing where I would research Indian classical rags in Bollywood films, and I would find and I would mix it up with one of the chota khyals that I have learned, and I would transition from that song to the Bollywood song, and I would just put out small like 1-minute videos out. So that actually, I just kept myself busy in the lockdown.
Right. A lot of artists became very
Yeah.
creative through the lockdown
Yes.
to get
So
through it.
that happened, then the art happened, then the
Right.
lighting happened. So yeah, quite a few things. I made like a fair amount of discovery about myself. Yeah.
So would you like to sing the song you sat with your brother-in-law and showed it to him?
I can hum a few lines of it.
Sure, yes.
Okay, but we will do that. So I just hum a couple of lines of what I have written and composed myself.
Yes.
आओ यारा बैठे हम तुम गुजरे लम्हों को याद करें आओ यारा बैठे हम तुम गुजरे लम्हों को याद करें
So about your art, you cultivated it as like a hobby, and you want to show some of it, the one you created for this month, especially.
The art, yes. For this very month, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I did make 3 of breast cancer related pieces of art. So this is the first one that I made. So I've been actually dabbling with ink art. I made this with a ink pen. That's it. And the color is acrylic color. So if when I was researching, like breast cancer and just the form of the human body and all of that, I found something very interesting. I saw that the glands in the mammary glands actually look like a flower. So it's actually, if you see a cross section of the breast, it actually looks like this. It's actually quite beautiful. So yeah, that's how the first piece of art came to be. I'll show you the second one, which is
Inspired by your dad?
inspired. Thanks to my dad, it was the idea, and that's pretty much me. Huh? This is called me. So that's the zipper that I was talking about. That's like symbolic to my scar in my abdomen, and just to give you guys a little trivia, the breast on the left side, the left breast basically, is 5 to 10% more likely to get cancer. And that's exactly where I found mine, on the left breast. And that's why the left breast pink is because of the pink ribbon association with breast cancer awareness. So yeah, and there are some other stuff around, which is 2 giraffe heads there.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
If that is coming, everyone's seeing that as well. So, we spent the past month actually cultivating the filter, the Instagram filter.
That's right.
And we came up
So
with
that's my third piece of art.
Yeah, you didn't say your third piece, you created your third piece.
Actually, that was my first piece, by the way, I made. So I made that for the first time last year because a friend of mine in Hyderabad she's also a breast cancer survivor and she's still fighting it. And I love you, Radha. Get well soon. And I made that for her. So because she was a fellow survivor like me, I made it for her. And I think that's where Vivek saw that, and we got talking, and he said, we should do something with that. And that was the starting point of this campaign.
That's pretty cool. So, you have a lot of fans, your fan base is huge. How do you think your fan base is going to, take your filter and use it since it's live today? And we're going to have like a little picture of it in the end as well. So, what do you think and how your fans are going to have the entire filter?
I just hope that they appreciate and actually take the main essence of this conversation that we need to get tested regularly. Is that filter, because a visual representation is so important to many people. Like, I love to see visual things. I learn things visually much quicker when I see things, in front of me than just reading things.
Right.
So I hope that filter, and because that's the language of today, right? We are all using filters in some manner or the other. So I hope that people use it and they will learn from the fact that we need to get ourselves tested regularly. So I beseech and I implore and I reach out to all my friends and fans and family members across the country and across the world that please use the filter and just don't put up a photograph. Please go get yourself tested. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, so we have a big filter that's out, we have a playlist that's out, but we also want to hear one more song from you right now.
Absolutely. So the next song is from my first solo album after my band Viva disbanded. I was fortunate to have this beautiful album called With Love Pratichee. Was composed by Ali Ghani, and the whole album was the songs were very Rajasthani folk inspired. So yeah. आया रे मारा पिया घर आया 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 हमारे आंगना में मन मारा कि पिया घर आया रे ओ मारे आंगना में मन मारा नाचे रे कि पिया घर आया रे ओ मैं तो हो गई बावरिया रे कि पिया घर आया रे आया रे मारा पिया घर आया आया रे मारा पिया घर आया